Game started.
Okay, bishop g2. Likes to fianchetto his bishops. Let's go back to e4. e4, knight c6, the Nimzowitsch defense. Yeah, so it's not that great for black, but I think it's still playable. Now, I could play bishop g2 here, right? I could play g3 to keep the knight out of these squares. He's not threatening the e-pawn, so I can just defend that knight and unpin. Bishop g2, knight e2, and castle. Now he's attacking the e-pawn, but I'm defending it. Got two knights over on the king side and a closed center. And no pieces or pawns have been traded, so an interesting position. And his bad bishop is outside the pawn chain, so I guess I will harass the bishop a little bit, see if it wants to trade itself for a knight, or if it wants to retire. Retire somewhere. Back. Go back. Okay, so it goes back there. So I want to unpin the f-pawn. I could play bishop to... I could have played bishop to e3, I suppose, but then he might take and double the e-pawns. So where's that knight going? He's probably preparing to play f4 himself. I'm going to get an, f5. I'll get an f4 before he gets an f5. And there he goes. Okay, so is this really good for black to open it up like that? Or is he just playing that because that's the way he plays? I can't actually tell. Pawn takes, pawn takes, pawn takes, rook takes. Maybe he'll take with the knight, and that will defend there. Yeah. So it's okay for black, I guess. He can also bring his bishop here. Maybe that's not so great. Okay, so I can take here, and that will develop his bishop. I can bring my knight to this square. I guess I should do that. Otherwise, I'll just have this backwards pawn on the e-file. That didn't seem to be doing a whole lot for me. And my knight can come to e4 here, supported by the bishop. And we'll see, once again, if he wants to trade. Don't have a great way of harassing that bishop at the moment. But shielding it off, blocking it off like that, I think should be okay. Okay, now his knight comes in, hitting his pawn, that square, my bishop. And I don't care about that square so much, I guess. It's the queen, as long as the queen has a place to go to. So I could develop my bishop, maybe gain a tempo on his queen. His queen can go to e2, though. Or rather, I'm sorry, his queen can go to e8, hitting my knight. I can play my knight to c3, defending. And it seems to me I could also bring my queen up and hit his knight, which seems a bit loose. But he's always got, I can't say it's loose, he's always got knight b2. Tricky. Tricky. Yeah, so the queen there hitting my knight. So I was thinking knight c3, defending the knight. My queen is guarding d4, where his bishop might want to come in. I got to keep an eye on that nasty bishop there. But what is my plan? I just sort of got my pieces out. They seem a bit disorganized. So queen d3, knight b2, queen over here, here. Maybe queen here first. Because after knight b2, I'm going to need to find a square for it. He can bring his knight into d5 here. That might be interesting for black. Maybe something like queen d2 and bishop d3, and get rid of this annoying dark squared bishop there. Well, at least he stopped to think. That's helpful. Yeah, although queen d2, he plays knight d5, defending his knight and then keeping control of the d3 square. So it's not so simple. Okay, he kicks my bishop, and I don't have any good targets, right? I don't want to go all the way back to c1 unless he forces me to by playing the pawn up there. Yeah, so I'm going to have to accept this trade. Adds a little more support to the knight on d4. Okay, so he kicks it. Where is a good square? I guess back. Is there something with the exchange sack? Rook takes, rook takes. Queen here hits the rook, but he can just defend it. Queen here is not possible. No checks. Okay, back. Okay, now queen d2, he can't defend it. Oh, he goes for the fork, okay. That's probably a good move. Win the exchange if you can. I don't know what he's thinking about. Is he thinking about taking the bishop? I would just take the rook. He doesn't have to, but if he doesn't, I will attack his knight. Well, maybe I can't attack his knight. Maybe that's the problem. Yeah, we'll take the bishop. If he doesn't take my rook, I'll take his bishop. Rook takes bishop, rook takes, and then I can take the knight. Yeah, so he takes. Okay. So he's up the exchange. He's got 2 bishops, 2 rooks, and I've got 1 rook, 1 bishop, and 2 knights. This knight is a bit pinned at the moment. Well, my queen's defended, but I don't want to trade queens especially. If he wants to trade his bishop, oh, I know. The problem here is he takes. I take with the queen. Then he wins my rook here. I mean, he wins my knight. So unfortunately, there's no tricks with pinning the bishop because bishop takes. Bishop is with check. So bishop takes knight. Rook to d1. Bishop takes bishop check. King moves. And the queen has to move. Okay, are there any other tricks? His king seems so exposed. It's hard to believe there's nothing going on here. But, well, I can throw in a check. He takes with the king. Then check here with the queen. King steps away. Is there any other check? There's no more check. There's just check here. Queen takes, pawn takes, and then he takes, trades a bishop, and he's a rook up at the end. Well, that's just unfortunate. Let's see, any other tricks? Well, check here, check here. Maybe I can just go for the checks.
Check.
If I can find some check that allows me to hit the bishop at the same time. Oh, he just... oh, because of the mate threat. Ah, this guy is too sharp. Ah, man. Okay, I'll let him checkmate me.
Checkmate.
Okay, well, I'll upload this and do a postmortem. See you guys later.